dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Tonight we are still learning more about that earthquake that could be felt in much of East Tennessee to a good portion of eastern Kentucky. The U.S. Geological Survey says the 3.8 magnitude quake happened around 2:15 this afternoon. It was centered about 20 miles south of Williamsburg in Campbell County, Tennessee. One family there reported that it cracked the foundation of their home, as you can see in that picture. Here in Kentucky, we've not heard any reports of major damage, but it certainly rattled some nerves, and we'll have much more on the quake coming up at 6 o'clock. Today in Letcher County, to celebrate Martin Luther King Day of Service, dozens from Kentucky Power, the American Red Cross, and volunteer fire departments went door to door installing free smoke detectors. This is all thanks to a $40,000 grant from the American Electric Power Foundation. WYMT's Emily Bennett was there for some of those installations.
Smoke detectors can save your life.
A house can be replaced, a human can't.
But the American Red Cross has seen a lack of them in eastern Kentucky.
It's amazing what all that people don't realize that they need a smoke detector. You know, they have no idea.
But now, thanks to a $40,000 grant, hundreds of homes are being equipped.
And that's funding at least 3 smoke alarm installs throughout eastern Kentucky.
One installation was completed in the fall in Greenup County, one Monday in Letcher County, and one planned for May in Pike County.
We try to work in areas that are in most need of help, lower income areas.
The goal, to install 1,500 alarms by June 30th.
We want to fulfill that need as quickly as possible.
Also relying on the help from local fire departments.
Those that we don't, we leave behind with the fire departments, and they will come and install them.
Making sure homes are as safe as possible.
It is a valuable piece of life-saving equipment.
Working together.
That's why we're here. We want to save lives.
To get the job done. In Letcher County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The batteries in those smoke detectors they are installing last 10 years. If you need an alarm, you can call 606-331-8700 and the American Red Cross will help get one installed.
Well, if you've been outside today, you probably didn't stay out there too long. It's definitely been on the chilly side, and we've seen those flurries almost throughout the day. Some saw a little bit more than flurries. You can see that here as we go ahead and take you on to US 119 in Pine Mountain. Just a very light dusting there on the grass. I think they had some issues on the roadways maybe a little bit earlier this morning, but most of that has gone, and you can see it's actually starting to dry out up there as well. Looking on top of Buffalo Mountain, still dealing with those gloomy skies and probably a few flurries, but no dusting up there into parts of Perry County. We've really been dealing with those snowflakes throughout the afternoon, and we'll continue that really as we head into the evening and probably a little bit into tomorrow. Well, of course, not expecting any major accumulation or anything like that, just some nice pretty flurries to look at. But you won't want to go outside and look at them. Lower 20s out there for a lot of us, showing those upper teens over into Wise, and feeling like the teens for some of us in Pikeville, feeling close to 9 in Wise, especially those feeling like those teens down into parts of the Cumberland Valley. Now for tonight, we're going to drop into those teens once again. We'll start to see those clouds break up a little bit and hang on to a few flurries. But when do we warm up? I'll have that answer coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Those cold temperatures can be dangerous for people, obviously, and they can also be dangerous for man's best friend. It's important to take good care of your pets, and some places even have an ordinance that requires it. Meteorologist Megan James found out what animal control in Lexington expects from dog owners.
Well, cold weather can be very dangerous to pets. They are susceptible to frostbite and hypothermia, so we always recommend that they bring their pets indoors.
Pet owners need to be extra precautious for their four-legged friends during these cold spells. If a dog starts to shiver, hold their paws up, or act unusual, it's time for you to bring them inside.
Know that some people choose to keep their dogs outside even in cold weather. So we do have a city ordinance that mandates that certain things are provided for that animal, and those things would be proper tether, fresh water, and proper doghouse.
If you're not taking good care of your dog and providing them with the essentials that they need, they could end up in the care of animal control. Lexington Fayette Animal Care and Control has a team of 11 people working to maintain the best care for dogs in the area. And if something is wrong, they will take action.
We have other people that just choose not to provide for their pets, and in that case, they do get cited. Sometimes we do seize animals off the property.
To avoid this, Hamilton hopes people take the best care of their pets and that they bring them inside whenever the temperature drops. In Fayette County, Megan James, WKYT.
If you see an animal in need, police urge you to let them know. Police in Berea hope you can identify a man who stole money meant for a charity. These pictures show a man removing a container of money meant for the Children's Miracle Network. The crime happened about 3 Saturday morning at the Berea Walmart. Police say the man tried several times to get the container out of the store before finally just carrying it out. Police estimate there was $500 in the container, and the container itself was worth $200. People surrounded Virginia's Capitol today, rallying in favor of the Second Amendment. Tensions have been rising since Democrats took control of the state legislature and proposed several gun control bills. Some of the people rallying are concerned that changes in Virginia could lead to changes nationwide. The expected participation of white supremacists and fringe militia groups raised fears that the state could see a repeat of the violence that exploded in 2017 in Charlottesville. The governor declared a temporary state of emergency. However, the rally remained peaceful today. We are less than 24 hours away from the Senate beginning President Trump's impeachment trial. Today, his legal team filed a brief. It claims the Democrats' charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress are not impeachable offenses. The document also says the impeachment process was flawed and did not allow the president to defend himself. The president's legal team says Democrats were not seeking the truth, only looking to find a way to drive President Trump out of office. The Senate trial begins tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. inspired millions of people throughout his life. His message of inclusion and serving others continues to make a difference around the world. His I Have a Dream speech is critical to that legacy. Washington correspondent Jillian Angeline has a behind-the-scenes look at how that famous speech came to be.
MLK, he was a very integral part of, African-American history. He's the reason why many opportunities are afforded to people that look like me.
Marvin Pierre is a junior at Howard University and part of the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha.
His I Have a Dream speech definitely resonates with me.
It was here at the Lincoln Memorial where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. But it was down the street at the Willard Intercontinental Hotel where Dr. King crafted a speech hours before delivering it to 250,000 people.
One of his most historic visits.
Janet Scanlon, senior marketing manager at the Willard, says Martin Luther King Jr. sat on these couches in the hotel lobby and hammered out the speech with his advisors. I spoke with Dr. Clarence B. Jones by phone, one of Dr. King's political advisors, with him that day. He told me he paid bellhops to create a secluded area hidden with plants in the lobby so King and his advisors could work together uninterrupted. Jones says he drafted the first paragraphs of the speech based on weeks of discussions. Then King retreated to his room to put the finishing touches on the famous speech.
Our account is that he worked through the night to try and finish it.
Today, visitors and guests can walk the Willard's Hotel and Museum to learn more about King's historic visit.
They want to know where he sat, what room was his floor on, did he eat here?
The King family sees the Willard as a special place in history. They hold a private event each year at the hotel to celebrate Dr. King's legacy. In Washington, I'm Jillian Angeline.
Numerous events across eastern Kentucky honored Dr. King today. We'll show you one of those coming up at 6. But next at 5:30, nearly 9 out of 10 parents say their teenagers spend too much time playing video games. Hear tips from experts on limiting how long kids sit in front of the screen.
And it'll remain on the dry side over the next few days, but we're already looking ahead to our next system that looks to move in Friday into your Saturday. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit.
A Floyd County woman is worried after finding what she believes to be a homemade explosive device inside of her mailbox.
Coming up, I'm Marianne Fletcher, and I'll have the details.